some noodling. I don't know where that carry-on wayward son came, but it came from somewhere. I needed to think a little bit how it kind of goes, I think. All right, yeah. Classic amp, awesome amp, goosebumps. You know, I've done, you know, videos of many amps, but you know, maybe I'm biased, but I love my own amps more than the others I've tried. Anyways, so yeah, let's go through the signal chain first. So this is a ESP Mirage Deluxe from 1987, original, with EMG 81 and SA pickups, gain boost, but I didn't use that, single volume, 3-way pickup switch. And I have the FU Jones big L brass block, the stopper, noiseless springs, and the claw. The Floyd is, well, it's not a Floyd, it's Schaller Lockmeister with a drop tuner. And yeah, great guitar. Then into my pedal board and what I used on the song. And now when I noodled, I had a TS-808 Screamer. It's my old, I think I bought it like in the 90s or early 2000s. It's, you know, guy from Finland made that. It's a clone of the original TS-808. Then the 14 Zool, just to get rid of the small hiss. And then into KG Audio Electronics amp switcher, then into the amps. Now I'm gonna compare this shortly to 5150 black leather and the bad boy Marshall JZM 802 203 from 84. Back to KG, then via power station where I'm attenuating a bit, and then I have a delay bus DD7 in the loop that I can control with my, you know, switcher. So when I did the little solo, I engaged that. And then from the power station, it goes to two of my Marshall cabinets. And I use both now. On the song, when I film myself, I use the Marshall Vintage cabinet where I have Marshall Vintage speakers. And one Celestion V30. I use the V30 mic'd with SM57 and VR1 ribbon mic. And then I also used my 1960 BX cabinet where I have two greenbacks and one 65-watt greenback and one 75-watt greenback. I used the 65-watt on the right side. I doubled it, and you probably heard there was a couple of occasions, you know, small harmonies, not your usual thirds, but fifths and fourths. And I used the 65-watt M cream back mic'd with Sennheiser MD421 and E906. And what you heard here now, what you just heard, was a blend of those two speakers and those two mic pairs. The V30 being the dominant, and I blended in the 65-watt greenback. Then the mics go to Warm Audio's WA412 mic pre and then into Logic. I said this probably a million times, but my all-time favorite amps are, you know, JZM 800 and 5150. 800 was my first amp, not these, but these I've had, you know, since late 90s, early 2000s. And then in the 90s I had also two 5150, you know, the OGs, and I sold them to my friends and they still have those. I've been trying to buy those from them, you know, throughout the years, but then in, I think 2016 or 17, I found this black leather from Canada, 500 Canadian dollars, which is like, I think like 400 in euros. It's great, completely stuck. And then not that long ago, I found this in the States, and you know, I bought it. So I have a power converter which changes the 230 volts to 110 volts and the correct hertz. I don't remember if it was 50 or 60, because in Europe it's the other and it stays the other, but it does the whole shebang. It's two outputs, so this both gets power from that via the volt. So, you know, it's cool. I got this, it sounded a bit strange, because I mean I have played with 5152 a lot during the years, and it was just like, kinda. But I just changed 4 preamp tubes. It had JJs, JJ12 AX7s, and JJ power tubes, 6R6s. I just, because I have a, spare JJs, because that's my tube brand. I don't know if it's any better or any worse than any other else. I just like it the most because I've always used that. So, 4 new JJs in there, 2 what was in there were fine, and now it's just like perfecto. So it's a 2-channel amp, like the original, but this has a separate tone controls for both channels, and it's a little bit more mid-focused, more towards Marshall, and a little bit, the feel is a little bit even more aggressive, if that's even possible, but it is. So yeah, so let's go through the lead channel now. So I have the screamer now, but if I take it off, so this works really, really well without an overdrive, because the story is that when Eddie got the prototypes, I think there were 4, and one of them sounded and felt quite a bit different than the others. And Eddie and the designer, James Brown, not the funky guy, but I don't know, maybe that James Brown is funky too. So they couldn't figure out what it was until they realized that someone from the assembly line had put in a wrong value something in there. I'm not technical, I'm not an amp tech. And that made the amp feel and behave differently. And when Eddie found out that it was actually a mistake, he loved it even more. So this is, it's tighter, the feel, and like you heard, it works. Just fine without an overdrive. I just like the feel with an overdrive a little bit more. So I had the drive on 0, tone and level almost cranked. So where you get the zzz. It's a hair below 5, and then I engage the overdrive, the TS-808. The low end is a little bit tighter, and a 808 adds a small mid hump going into the amp. Okay, then let's check out the tone controls. First, the lows. There, 7, very close. And then mids. Very, so these amps have a lot of mids. So now the mids are on 3.5, the low is at 7, and then let's check out the highs. There where it opens, 7. And then the resonance and presence. Let's check out the presence first. This is similar than on the 5150. The OG doesn't really do anything before 7, 2 o'clock. There, yeah. So where it kind of opens, so 8 is usually been where my presence is. And then the resonance, which affects the low end response between the cabinet and the power amp section. There, so 6.5. I think that's where I had it. Okay, then let's check out the rhythm channel. Now this is on clean setting. There's bright and crunch. The bright is in and the clean setting. And this cleans great. When we add chorus. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's take the chorus off and then go to the crunch side, bridge pickup. Bright off. Except, yeah, I can't. The bright is on, like on the Euge, you know, always would be. Now the gain is full, then let's engage the two screamer. So it's you know, there's a lot of gain on this one too. A little bit more vintage sounding. How I usually use it, I use it on the clean, you know, when I record, because I really like the clean channel. I think it's great. And then the same resonance and presence. Now I had the resonance on 4 and presence 7.5. Okay, and then let's compare it to the black letter. So lead channels on and tube screamer on both. They're really similar, really close to me. Well, listen, first the 5152. They're really close. The feel with the 5152 is even a little bit faster, probably because the input thing. And there's more upper, mids, and there's not that much of that really high highs, but there's more a little bit, it's voiced a little bit differently. I will do another video where I compare these very detailedly, so you know, tweak the settings, because now they are set a little bit differently. So this one, the lows are 6, the mids are 3.7, highs are 6, resonance 6, presence 8, and the preamp gain is 2.5. And this was preamp gain here below 5, low 7, mids 3.7, highs 7, resonance 6.5, and presence 8. But I will do a more detailed comparison on another video, so stay tuned for that. And then let's compare it to probably my favorite amp of all time, the legendary Bad Boy that I've used on so many albums and recordings and tours. Not anymore on tours, because I use Blue Guitar's Amp 1, can carry that anywhere, but this is the amp I've used the most during my career in many different situations and music styles. So first the 5152, then the Bad Boy. Is it all? Yes. So they're not that far, because this has more upper mids than this towards Marshall, but the bad boy, and like 800s in general, they have that upper mid high silver that just cuts through, and these 5150s, they blend really well with the 800. That's the combination I've used many albums. You know, it's old, it's probably the most used, but if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So yeah, that was it. 5152, great amp. Conclusion. Amazing amp, a little bit more upper mid bite, a little bit tighter. The feel is a little bit even tighter than on the OG 5150, and it's more towards Marshall. So it's kind of in between the 5150 and the 800. Fantastic amp. The clean channel is great. On the original 5150, it's a bit dull. It's not so great, but because this have a one preamp tube more than this one, and the extra preamp tube is dedicated only to the clean channel or rhythm channel, so that makes it a lot more usable amplifier. In general, I love it. I love this. I love JCM 800s. You know. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. And yeah, stay tuned for a more detailed comparison. And I will also tell the year of this, because I don't remember. The plate is there, but I think it's late 80s. Late 90s, sorry. Alright, until next time, take care. Cheers, bye.